Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to be reacting to the 7 most hated players in NBA history, guys. Let me know in the comment section below who is your most hated player of all time. I will say, for me personally, who is one player that I just could never, ever stand? You might think it's Stanley Johnson, you know, somebody like that, but it's really not, man. Growing up watching basketball, for whatever reason, I think it's because he was annoying as hell. Anderson Varejão, man. I just never liked Anderson, floppy hair, Varejão. Like, it always pissed me off. I think it's just because he was always, like, scrappy and annoying as, like, a Piston fan, you know, against Cavaliers and stuff like that. He just really always got to me. So let me know in the comment section below your most hated player of all time. Here we go.
In the NBA, there's players that are loved by everyone. Players that
Dirk.
Stun entire arenas with their
Curry.
talent.
Definitely not.
And
He's not
players
loved by
that are
everybody.
Generally respected by every other team in the league. But then there's the other side of that.
LeBron James.
With the players
Yeah.
that made a name out of being some of the most hated in the league. Players that played a certain way or did certain things to pretty much get universally hated by NBA fans
Who
everywhere.
hates the Pistons, man? That's freaking Bad Boys.
And by
Why
most
would you
of
hate the
teams
Bad
in the
Boys? They
league,
play with all
aside
heart.
from whichever team they were playing on at the time.
Yeah, I remember
today
that.
we're going to be
I
looking at
love that
7 of these
boy, man.
players. The list
Throw the
is
popcorn
in
at
no
him,
order.
man.
So let's start with
No, that was wrong.
number 7, Reggie Miller.
Miller killer.
Reggie Miller is one of the all-time greats and one of the greatest three-point shooters in league history. But unless you were a Pacers fan, chances were you hated Reggie Miller.
He was cocky. He had that trash
Especially
talk.
if you liked the Knicks or your name was Spike Lee. Because Reggie would do everything you could possibly think of to get under the other player's skin and
Bro,
do
go fight
things
MJ,
every
man.
fan hated too. He was an extremely cocky player, and just as much as he's known for being a great player, he's remembered for trash talking, flopping, gesturing towards the fans, starting fights, and elbowing players.
You guys think he's a good
The man
commentator?
knew every single
Reggie Miller?
trick in the book
Analyst?
to get under the other player's skin, and he knew every way to take cheap shots at them and get away
One
with it.
time I was playing basketball, like 3-on-3, 4-on-4, in some dude's driveway. Like, these people didn't like me or whatever, man. So, you know, I was trying to go out there and I was trying to, like, you know, play some good basketball, and I tried switching my shooting form to Reggie Miller, and I, like, was holding the basketball like this, and I would, like, do something, I don't know, like, some weird crosshand thing that I thought he did, and it just, yeah, those kids still never invite me back ever again, man. One actually tried to run me over before, but
With it.
it's
He'd
whatever.
love to be the guy to get booed
It's
by
whatever.
entire crowds at away games.
Haters gonna
and
hate,
be
right?
thought of as the bad guy, especially when it came to the Knicks and hitting 9 points in 8 seconds. Number 6, Kobe Bryant.
Why would you
Of
hate Kobe?
course, Kobe Bryant
That's the
was
Black
loved by
Mamba.
all Los Angeles Lakers fans, but hated by mostly everyone else. And it was for
Is he really? Bro, the only ones that hate Kobe is, like, Celtic fans. You know what I'm saying? Celtic fans are LeBron lovers. Like, that's the only one. Even like that to that case now, it's like we all know LeBron's like top 2 player of all time, and Kobe's like not better than LeBron, but still, yeah.
reasons like being a selfish player, being way too hard on his teammates, feuding with Shaq and leading him out of Los Angeles, his off-court accusations,
I have no issues
or
with
for
Kobe.
just torching fans' favorite teams in the regular
Pistons
season
always
or
killed
the
him, though.
playoffs. Even though he's an all-time NBA great,
Career low
he
point per
still
game
had
against
reasons
Detroit.
for people
If you
to
didn't know
hate
that.
him. A lot of the people that hated Kobe in his early career
Yo, that was a good
changed
pass.
their opinions of him towards the end of it and when he retired, but during those early stages, he was definitely one of the league's most hated players. So those people hated it even more when they had to watch him succeed. Number 5, Latrell Sprewell.
I also don't
Sprewell
like.
had the
I didn't like
potential
Antoine
to be
Walker.
remembered as an NBA great.
Oh,
He was a 4-time
Richard
All-Star
Jefferson, man.
that
Hated
averaged
Richard Jefferson.
18 a game
Damn.
for his career and 20 a game
Hated
in the
Richard
playoffs.
Jefferson.
At times he was great on the court, but he earned his reputation for one of the league's most hated players on and off the court by first bringing a 2x4 to practice to fight his teammate Jerome Kersey, and then years later, when his head coach PJ Carlesimo told him to throw better passes in practice, he choked him out before he got dragged off by teammates.
Bro, you showed up with a 2x4. This is the damn zombie apocalypse. What are you doing? Like, if you like, as soon as I see that 2x4, man, I'm going for the knees, man. Like, it's just game over.
Then 20
I'm gonna
minutes
knee
later,
you, and
he
then I'm gonna
came
freaking
back
punch you in the
and
face.
Punched PJ in the face, which got him suspended for 68 games. And of all that, still not enough to hate the man.
Yeah, probably
At
deserve
one
that.
point, he turned down a 3-year, $21 million contract because he said it wasn't enough to feed his family. Number
Yeah.
4, Kevin Garnett.
Another trash
we all
talker.
know KG for his time in Boston and Minnesota, and it's safe to say that he was loved by most of those fans.
He said some mean
he was
things.
hated by mostly every other fan and player in the league for being one of the worst trash talkers in NBA history. And I'm not talking about the type of trash talker to get in the other player's head, to get an advantage in the game. He would say things to make grown men question their existence. And he was the type of trash talker that crossed the line on what you should ever say to another man.
Zaza, man. He should be on the list.
Some of these include saying dirty things to Carmelo about his wife, calling Charlie Villanueva
Honey Nut Cheerios, if you know, you know.
and insulting Tim Duncan on
Honey Nut
Mother's Day
Cheerios, man.
because he knew Tim's mom passed away years ago. Even though he'll make it to the Hall of Fame, he made a career out of trash-talking players, trying to intimidate guys every chance he got,
and it worked.
Making grown men like Glenn Davis and Andre Blatch cry.
Big baby
Number
Davis,
3,
right?
Metta World Peace.
You might think that I hate Metta World Peace, but I mean, I will be honest. Like, I didn't like Steven Jackson more, man. Like, Steven Jackson pissed me off than Metta World Peace. When it comes to like the Pals brawl.
Ron Artest was always a great player and an even better defender.
Ugly jump
but
shot.
Not just anybody
sometimes.
changes their name to Metta World Peace. That can only be done by a man that wants to make up for his past mistakes and get rid of the bad stigma around himself. Ever since the malice at the Palace, he always had
that's literally this right here. Literally every single Twitter fan, man. That's Crispy Flakes. There's every single Twitter fan after I roast your team after you play the Pistons, although we lose. But you know, still got to stand up for Detroit, right?
Of being a villain in the NBA. So he did the right thing because he said he wanted to inspire
this right here, man. This right here, man. Watch. Where are we at?
The reputation.
Yeah, right here. Crispy Flakes. Marcus Aldridge sucks. Every single Spur fan coming at me.
Being a villain
Bam.
in the NBA. So he did the right thing because he said he wanted to inspire kids around
know
the
I
world.
just mess with you, right,
so
man?
He changed his last name to
Some
World
people take
Peace
it serious.
so they could buy a
around.
jersey that said World Peace on the back of it. And he changed his first name to Metta, which meant loving, kindness, and friendly.
Ooh, there's nothing loving about that.
I can't finish that sentence with that playing in the background. How you gonna change your name to World Peace and then take a man's head off his shoulders with an elbow? You can change your name,
he said,
but
just
you
like
can't
this.
change your Mike Tyson arms. Number 2, LeBron James.
LeBron was doing good for a while. You know, he had the whole Miami thing, the decision. We all hate on for that. One championship in Cleveland. And then like the Lakers, it seemed like it was fine. I know there was like Kobe fans that was not having it, like hardcore Laker fans and stuff. And also, you know, the whole Hong Kong situation too. Like when he was talking about that, or really lack of comments on it. Yeah, people definitely was not a big fan of that whatsoever. Just kind of like caring more about his brand and his finances than, you know, what's going on in Hong Kong.
LeBron was one of the most loved basketball players through his dominant high school career and his first run in Cleveland. He carried the Cavs on his back into the finals and started to become an all-time NBA great. But the fact that he gave himself the King James nickname before he had ever won a championship
Wait, he gave himself the King James nickname?
Gave some people the idea that he was a cocky guy.
It's a great nickname, though. It's a great nickname.
When he made the decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers on national TV and join the Miami
Steve
Heat,
Carell does a
make
great
their big
parody
three,
of that.
He
So funny.
instantly
Kind of
became
funny.
one
It's
of the
not that
most
funny.
hated players in league history. Everyone wanted to see him
like
fail and regret
3.
his decision to go to South Beach. So then when he succeeded in
Out of
Miami
8.
and made 4 straight NBA Finals appearances with 2 championships in there, it only got people to hate him even more. He's helped this case out though by returning to the Cavs and completing his mission to bring them a championship. His loyal fans always stayed with him, and he's gained back some of the people that turned on him since he left. That, combined with his consistent success and becoming one of the all-time NBA greats, has earned him a lot of respect from most NBA fans. But there'll always still be those LeBron haters. And number 1, the Bad Boy Pistons team.
I ain't hear nothing about this team, man. This is my most loved team in NBA. No, 2004 Detroit Pistons. But Bad Boy was actually a bit before my time.
And I know what you're thinking. How could I put an entire team as number 1? But
Do
there's
it.
3 or 4 people from this team that deserve a spot on this list. So instead of taking up 3 spots, it's easier to just put them all in one. But with that being said,
Do
the
it.
Bad Boys Pistons
We love
team
it.
was probably the single most hated team in NBA history. They were mainly known for playing extremely rough defense to get under the other players.
Because all these soft bitches from the 80s wanted to play, you know, this 2000 and this 2019 style of basketball, man. You know, they were trying to bring that style of basketball to, like, back then. You know what I'm saying? Like they like if it wasn't for the bad boy Detroit Pistons, you wouldn't have had, you know, just like good aggressive basketball. You all would have just been teaming up, man. Would have been, you know, Larry Bird at point guard, Michael Jordan at power forward, and Magic Johnson at center, something like that. Man, that's how it would have been. Like they would have been teaming up like that. The bad boy Pistons just, you know, taught heart and soul and just combined together as one unit and just winning out there, man. And then it's just like, you know, and people didn't like that. You know, people didn't like getting their feelings hurt and stuff like that. So it's whatever.
And for trying to start fights with the other teams.
Yeah, right. I've seen Larry Bird freaking tackle people to the ground.
Without a doubt, Bill Laimbeer. But we still got to talk about the team as a whole, and guys like Isaiah Thomas, Rick Mahorn, and Dennis Rodman.
Think about Bill Laimbeer is just that, like he was the white Kevin Garnett. That's all he was. Like, how are you going to be like people be fine with Kevin Garnett, man. Celtic fans be fine with Garnett, but he's bringing up Bill Laimbeer, they want to hate. It's like, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Laimbeer is going to talk trash, and then he's going to, you know, knock down some threes in your face. And then when he talks trash, you're going to get pissed at him, foul him, he's going to make his free throws. He was like a 90% plus free throw shooter. So, just smart basketball. You know, just don't get caught up in your feelings.
But we'll start with Laimbeer. He was a pretty good center, but he was the most hated because he was one of the roughest and dirtiest
players on the team. He drew the contact. The other guy did.
That, combined with the fact that he was born into a rich family, just rubbed people the wrong way. And
what's wrong with
not
that?
to mention that he was the one that organized
Look at that
the
flop
idea
by
of the
Larry
Pistons
Bird.
walking off the
Volleyballing
court before getting swept by the Bulls in the 91 playoffs, so that they didn't have to shake their hands. And then as for Isaiah Thomas, he's one of the best point guards in NBA history.
Damn, Celtics are babies, dude.
He got a lot of backlash for walking off the court because he was one of the leaders of that team. And he got even more hate for saying that if Larry Bird was black, he would just be another good player. And then outside of the Bad Boys, Magic Johnson wrote in his book that when it came out that he had HIV, Isaiah thought that Magic was gay, because back before all the information we have today, he thought it was only something gay men got diagnosed with.
Yeah, not your best moment, Isaiah. I can't really, I can't back you up on that one. I'm sorry. That's all you. Let's just continue.
All of this
leave that one
led
behind.
to him being kept off the 92
Look
Dream Team.
Look at flops!
Because Johnson said that him or any of the other players really didn't want him on the team. And then there was Rick Mahorn, who was never really a great player in the NBA, but made his career out of being one of the dirtiest in league history. He would constantly
what a pass!
And try to get into fights with the other team's
Damn, that
best
was sexy,
players
man.
so he could throw them off their game. One of the more popular examples of this came in the 1989 playoffs when the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they were looking like they were headed to take the #1 seed in the East. But that was until Mahorn elbowed their star point guard Mark Price in the head and gave him a concussion. And then that led
Probably
to
just
him
an
missing
accident.
enough games to where the Pistons could take the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Accidents
And then
happen.
along with all of this, on the same team there was Dennis Rodman. He was never a liked
Michael
player
Jordan
for all of the
fell.
following reasons. For leaving his team during the 92 finals to wrestle with Hulk Hogan, showing up to his
Look, he's got him tangled up. Look, he's putting his freaking arm on him.
And saying he was bisexual.
Look, Larry Bird's
going to
holding
marry
him, man.
himself, having an affair with Madonna, and kicking a cameraman. None of this happened when he played on the Pistons, but he was another one of their rough players. All of this,
Magic Johnson
combined
throwing
with the
elbows.
fact that he was always a strange dude, led to people not liking him, including his former teammates Scottie
Michael
Pippen
Jordan
and
flopping
Michael
again.
Jordan. For all of these reasons,
Yeah, right,
the
Jordan,
man
get up.
definitely could have had
James
his own
Harden.
spot on this list, but instead I decided to include him here. So there you have it. Whether it was by other players, the fans, or a combination of both, these were the 7 most hated players in NBA history.
I just don't see, I just don't see how you can hate the Pistons like that. Like, there's nothing about the Bad Boy Pistons. I saw a lot of flops and just, anything that wasn't a flop was just good hard basketball. So, guys, drop a like on this video if you want me to react maybe some, maybe some old school like 80s basketball NBA brawls and stuff like that, man. Let me know that in the comment section below. Drop that like. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.